Durango, 2022, 2021. I don't know. I can't see the color. It's dark. There's a bunch, 4 or 5. There's people running in the parking lot under the Hilton. There's people running on River Road. This is all happening in front of the mic.
Sir, hold on 1 second. Edgewater, it's still county. I'm still on the line. There is confirmed that another person shot by the jewelry store. It's unknown where the other shooter went.
Okay. So, and so let me just kind of break down this incident from what I know. Dude tries to rob TJ. TJ, again, this is word on the street. TJ may have even initiated the shooting, supposedly, or who knows? Maybe he didn't. But he shot back. He shot the dude 5 times. Supposedly, the dude got shot in his face. You'll see the guy. His mugshot that came out was because supposedly he got shot in his face. I thought, because I remember, I found out a lot about this when I reported, oh, he must have got beat up. They're like, no, he got shot in the face. That's why he looks like this. That's why if you look at the music video, he's wearing a shades the entire time. Because supposedly TJ shot him in the face. Okay? Apparently, the dude was with like a couple other people. And apparently, at least one other guys got shot. This is word on the street, people. That person never got caught. They ran away, but they got shot. So this is why I'm also connecting to the story with Offset, because I see some people, they're like, well, if you don't hear that, say TJ's at a hospital, he didn't get shot. The idea, at least from what I've heard from his team, now I do hear like he might be in custody or whatever, but I did hear that they were trying to get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, anyway.
By the jewelry store?
Correct.
That there's someone is shot?
Yes, confirmed. One person shot. I have another call in on it.
Okay. Do you know this party that was shot?
He's a rapper. It's a rapper. He's just been shot a few times.
Is he?
Don't touch it. They're coming. The paramedics are coming.
Yes, we got multiple calls on this. We have been notified. I'm going to stay on the phone with you, okay? Is the party deceased? Is the party deceased?
I think so.
All right. Do you know who he is?
Little TJ, the rapper, little TJ.
I'm sorry, what's his name?
Tell him right here. Almost Sweet. They're going around the other way.
Okay. He said little, what's his name?
Let him go. Let him go for a moment. Big guy, let him go, man.
Were you with this party?
He's been vitamin shop.
Okay. Do you know this party? Are you with him? Or you just saw this happen? Sir? Sir? Sir, are you there?
I worked at the hotel, Homewood Suite.
Okay.
Bobby, leave him alone. The cops are coming, man. Oh.
Sir, what's your name?
He's still breathing.
Multiple 911 calls. Apparently a shot party is in one of the vehicles.
Is he in a vehicle? Sir, is he in a vehicle or is he on the ground?
He's inside the vehicle.
What kind of vehicle is he in?
It's a red Durango, man.
We have reports that a white BMW fled the scene.
Okay.
Heading north.
But he is still breathing?
Durango should still be on scene.
Yeah, he's still breathing very little. I need paramedics.
Sheriff Edgewater on set.
Okay.
911, where's your emergency?
Yes, hi. I'm a security guard from City Place. I have a young man here that said he just got shot. I ran into my car, and I'm right here. He said they were looking for him at City Place, and I just drove off with him. I'm at the 7-Eleven right now. He's in the back seat of my car right now.
Where are you?
At the 7-Eleven.
Okay, what's 7-Eleven?
Right here on River Road.
Right,
I see three cops just jogging down the street right now.
I need cops at the 7-Eleven on River Road. The person who shot is in the car.
Yes,
so what kind of car are you in?
I'm in a security guard. I'm going to put my lights on.
Okay, keep your lights on.
All right, I'm right here.
Do not hang up on me.
I won't. He's in the car. I'm trying to stay in the car.
Condition? Is he breathing?
All right, once again, that is from the old shooting, which is when this happened in 2022. I'm being told that
dispatcher pretty good. I feel like I always hear dispatcher to be kind of calm and like he seemed like he was mad on it.
Again, there was an incident that occurred. Offset, Lil TJ. I heard both rappers were hit. Offset is in the hospital currently. I spoke directly with his team. Well, not Offset's team, with TJ's team. They wouldn't confirm anything at this point. They seem to, they seem to confirm, but I want to say they did confirm that there was an incident, but they wouldn't confirm anything further. I have really good sources on the ground that claim that both people were injured. Obviously, we have proof that Offset was injured, but we haven't heard anything about Lil TJ yet. So either he's in custody or we'll figure out the rest. Okay. Somebody say, no, Offset's in the hospital. Offset's 100% in the hospital. Offset's in the hospital. Lil TJ, his status is unknown. Like, we've been checking consistently to see if he's in custody. There is no, there's nothing that says he's in custody yet, but he could be being processed. We don't know. So we don't know what's going on with TJ, but I think it's safe to say something happened. All right. We'll continue to monitor. We will continue to monitor. We do have a few other things to talk about in sense of Pooh Shiesty. We're getting some major updates from these, like, really these detention hearings. And these detention hearings are telling us a lot more about what this case is probably going to be. So, give me 1 second. I'm trying to find the video for you guys here. So here's the latest on what's going on in Memphis. First and foremost, there was a detention hearing that happened for Memphis rapper Big 30. Remember, there was already one on Friday for the father of Pooh Shiesty. Now we get a detention hearing for Big 30, and the lawyer came out and he did some questions with the press, which I think is kind of like, okay, he feels confident about the case already. Check this out, Jen.
House arrest after he was charged along with Pooh Shiesty last week.
Here we go.
Memphis rapper Big 30 is now on house arrest after he was charged along with Pooh Shiesty last week on kidnapping and robbery.
Now, keep in mind, everyone keeps saying these guys are facing life. These guys are blah, blah, blah. The father gets house arrest and Big 30 gets house arrest. Oh, no, never mind. He was on house arrest, right? He did get a bond, though.
Along with Pooh Shiesty last week on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Big 30's attorney says that he expects to appeal. Fox 15 told you this morning that a judge in North Texas ordered Pooh Shiesty's dad, Lontrell Williams Sr., to be brought back to Dallas after he was also granted house arrest in Memphis. Fox 15's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon joins us live downtown at the federal court. Kayla, it was a packed courtroom for today's hearing.
Yeah, Darcy, and a number of them were family members, loved ones, supporters of Big 30. Ultimately, a judge decided to assign him a $100,000 bail amount with standard bond conditions like a curfew as well as an ankle monitor. But I heard from his attorney, Arthur Horn, who tells me he's expecting an appeal soon.
Here's a young man that has turned his life around and is trying to make something of himself. and unfortunately has gotten himself caught up in a situation that has nothing to do with him.
Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, was given a $100,000 bail by a federal judge with standard bond conditions. But attorney Arthur Horn says the fight to keep him out of custody isn't over.
Going to file an appeal, and they're going to appeal the judge's decision, and we will have to have another detention hearing in Texas on the same facts, just like you saw today.
Wright is one of 9 men facing federal charges stemming from the alleged kidnapping and robbery of rapper Gucci Mane and others in a Dallas recording studio in January. One of Wright's co-defendants, Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., or Pooh Shiesty, was signed to Gucci Mane's label 1017 Records. Prosecutors say the incident started when the rapper asked to be released from his recording contract, and Gucci Mane said no. Horn says Big 30 has nothing to do with that.
He has no interest in whether Pooh Shiesty has a contract with 1017 or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio.
With Pooh Shiesty last week on kidnapping and robbery charges. But Big 30's attorney says that he expects to appeal. Fox 15 told you this morning that a judge in North Texas ordered Pooh Shiesty's dad, Lontrell Williams Sr., to be brought back to Dallas after he was also granted house arrest in Memphis. Fox 15's investigative reporter.
Who gives you wings?
Join Planet Fitness for 1 cent down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, April 10th.
All right, speaking about the Amazon, I saw this video on my timeline, and I don't know if this is a sign, because as soon as I talked about not being afraid, why the Amazon makes Australia look like a joke. Let me see.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no. If Australia is Satan's sandbox, then the Amazon is its older brother raised by Brazil's Snake Island and tutored by the Darien Gap while babysat by the Serengeti. The land of felony deer and eight-legged landlords is a country club compared to the largest rainforest and factory of nonsense on the planet. Because Australia is not that bad for what its reputation is, and for the most part, discernment and common sense will keep you in present tense. But also, the Amazon will take Australia's lunch money. This is a jungle that has swallowed cities, animated nightmares, and even Charles Darwin was naturally selected as a tribute to the forest. Allegedly. The Amazon is a living bullet hell from top to bottom. But the most dangerous animals in it, and the ones most likely to leave you full-time horizontal, will surprise you.
I'm starting to sweat. Not good, it's not good, it's not good, it's not good.
And what better way to start than with the actual king of...
Supposed to host that, but TJ was supposed to be in Florida for hosting, and I don't know how he ended up at Hard Rock, because shit, everybody should know Offset be there, but that happened.
As an ankle monitor, but I heard from his attorney Arthur Horn, who tells me he's expecting an appeal soon.
Here's a young man that has turned his life around and is trying to make something of himself, and unfortunately has gotten himself caught up in a situation that has nothing to do with him.
Rodney Wright Jr., also known as Big 30, was given a $100,000 bail by a federal judge with standard bond conditions. But attorney Arthur Horn says the fight to keep him out of custody isn't over.
Going to file an appeal, and they're going to appeal the judge's decision, and we will have to have another detention hearing in Texas on the same facts, just like you saw today.
Wright is one of 9 men facing federal charges stemming from the alleged kidnapping and robbery of rapper Gucci Mane and others in a Dallas recording studio in January. One of Wright's co-defendants, Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., or Pooh Shiesty, was signed to Gucci Mane's label, 1017 Records. Prosecutors say the incident started when the rapper asked to be released from his recording contract, and Gucci Mane said no. Horn says Big 30 has nothing to do with that.
He has no interest in whether Pooh Shiesty has a contract with 1017 or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
That shit must be like auto mute.
Okay, so I'll kind of return back to what I was saying. So, the most interesting part of this like press conference outside the courthouse, right? Remember, Big 30 has a $100,000 bond, which, by the way, I think we have to be very logical here. This is a charge that potentially carries up to life. The judge has seen 2 people so far and basically has ordered that they could get a bond. Hey, just pay $250,000 for the father and you could be on home confinement. Now for Big 30, they're saying $100,000, and even then Big 30 wants it to be reduced even more. That shows they have good faith not only in their lawyers in terms of Big 30 and on the defendants, but they probably doubt the case. What the fuck is the case about? So anyway, after securing this $100K bail, the lawyer for Big 30 did an interview, and in the interview, they called out pretty much the prosecutors in a sense by saying, hey, listen, y'all witness don't want to be witnessing no more, which is Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane is the person who pointed out a bunch of people. There's 2 other people who pointed out some people, but he pointed out pretty much everybody. They're saying Gucci does no longer want to participate.
Of Wright's co-defendants, Memphis rapper Lontrell Williams Jr., or Pooh Shiesty, was signed to Gucci Mane's label, 1017 Records. Prosecutors say the incident started when the rapper asked to be released from his recording contract, and Gucci Mane said no. Horn says Big 30 has nothing to do with that.
He has no interest in whether Pooh Shiesty has a contract with 1017 or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is interesting said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting.
So the lawyer of Big 30 says that Gucci Mane came out publicly and said that he's not cooperating, which, we're all following the story pretty, carefully. No one's seen that. Now, the only thing I could find of any type of story with maybe like some type of level of credence that would suggest that Gucci's not taking a stand is a Source article. So Source, they dropped a post 3 days ago, and they said that Gucci Mane declines to cooperate in Pooh Shiesty case. Now, if you read the caption, it says Gucci is reportedly refusing to cooperate in a case connected to recent allegations involving Pooh Shiesty. Let's Google that, see where we can find the original article. Yeah, other than this is all hip hop. I'm not too sure where else it's coming from.
That last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
That is Fox 13's Kayla Solomon reporting live downtown tonight. Thank you, Kayla.
Yeah. So And by the way, I'm corroborating some of this stuff from my source as well. They're now telling me that supposedly, again, I'm not going to ever give up my source, but they're telling me that that's kind of the narrative that's being pushed. So maybe he wasn't shot. I don't know. Maybe he wasn't shot. I don't know. But look like they're saying that the team might not be lying. So it appears that there's an incident. They got into it. Offset, TJ, whatever happened. But possibly TJ's not shot while Offset is shot. I try to figure out if there was any other members or people who...
Smart founders know something most people miss. Get your domain name even if you're not ready to launch your business. With
TJ or Offset who got shot. And we're only hearing about one person getting shot, which is Offset. I'm posting on Instagram. Okay.
Memphis rap.
So, again, we're working that like by the minute, by the second. So give me a chance if I keep like switching topics. I am trying to get through this topic here. This lawyer coming out and saying, oh, nah, this lawyer basically saying that, oh, no, Gucci's apologized, or not apologized, but like basically like backtrack. Like there's no proof of this. So this is what I'm kind of saying. Where is he getting this info unless he has some secret info, or maybe he's spoken to Gucci, which I would imagine you wouldn't speak to Gucci. But how does he know that Gucci is declining to cooperate further? Now, I particularly think that the social media embarrassment is going to prevent Gucci from really going all the way like to the stand. But I really don't know, honestly.
Rapper Big 30.
January. One of them tracked
17, or he doesn't. They're going to make music together regardless.
Horn says he's ready to see how this case plays out in Texas.
I think the interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
Okay. I've said this. I see everybody, you know, great minds think alike. Everybody's saying the same thing. We all want to blame the cop. The cop wasn't there. He's not an eyewitness to all these crimes, to the conversation, to give all the necessary details to fulfill not only a conspiracy, but fulfill a reasonable judge or jury in thinking that some shit happened, right? And basically, if you kind of look at this entire case, it hinges on Gucci Mane pointing out Pooh Shiesty. You can't just wait on the cop. The cop wasn't there. So if we're waiting on Gucci Mane to be the star witness, I think hip hop is going to do a number on him that he's going to be like, nah, man, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. At the end of the day, if people think about cost risk analysis, Gucci probably owns a lot of his music already. He doesn't need to do the extra stuff. So why let him go for free? Or why, send him to jail, especially if you were from the streets? So what I particularly believe is that Gucci's going to try to moonwalk from this issue. Is it too late? I don't know. Usually I'm like, oh, the streets will tell. What is the streets anymore, right?
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident.
See, that's spooky.
Darcy.
That is Fox 13's Kayla Solomon reporting live downtown tonight. Thank you, Kayla.
So no working cameras in there. Gucci might not cooperate. We haven't seen him since. How are they going to convict Pooh Shiesty? How? How are they going to convict him if they don't have all the stuff? Now, shout out to my man Lawyer for Workers. He did a good breakdown on this. Check this out. By the way, we said all this stuff already. Lawyer. Here we go.
Shiesty update. I'm going to play the clip. The clip puts to bed any idea that Pooh is cooked. You're going to hear Big 30's lawyer talking about Gucci's plans on testifying. For good measure, the reporter from a respected news outlet out in Texas saying the FBI hasn't exactly heard from Gucci. Check this out.
Interesting thing that we've seen in the last couple of days is that Gucci Mane has come out publicly and said that he's not cooperating with the government.
And it is worth noting that last week we did hear from an FBI agent who said that he had not heard from Gucci Mane either. He also noted that there were no working video cameras inside this recording studio at the time of this incident. Darcy.
If Gucci does not testify, the question of is Pooh cooked comes down to 2 paragraphs in the complaint plus 1 picture. I'll show them to you and walk you through it. What's very interesting about the picture is this is not like what you might imagine the recording studio looks like, with a couch, a bunch of buttons and boards, a glass plate, and then boom.
That's exactly how most of
it looks like the recording area is somewhat off to the side, completely enclosed. It is not at all clear that anybody in the control room could actually see into the studio. And it's definitely clear that there could be people in parts of the control room who would not be able to see into the recording area at all. What does that mean? Well, we know the security guards were outside in the hallway. And we know that the only people who were in the control room were the business people. Gucci is inside the recording studio. When you read paragraph 21 and you read paragraph 22, it's funky. It doesn't exactly make a lot of sense. So if you read it, I want you to follow along. They say Big 30 barricades the door to the studio. They say that the security guards try to barge in. And when the security guards barge in, they get a peek and they see that they're outnumbered by the armed target suspects. It does not say that they are outnumbered by an armed Pooh Shiesty. Instead, they lump Pooh Shiesty in with the whole group of target suspects, suggesting that the security guards only saw other people, not Pooh with the gun. Later, where it's alleged that Pooh has the gun, he's allegedly holding it to the back of the head of one of the business people. And so if there's anybody here other than Gucci who seems like they could put Pooh away, it's going to be one of the business guys. And so that's going to be ultimately, that guy's testimony seems to tell you where this entire case is headed. Everybody on the internet, I know you want to be so right, but the accused, when they get the full weight of the feds on them, deserve more than banter and gossip. Now, that.
All right, my man done turned to a defense attorney in front of my eyes. Holy. Shout out to him, though. So essentially, where's Pooh Shiesty at with this case? Pooh Shiesty has to play a game of chicken. And he has to think that, no matter how heavily medicated Gucci appears to be, he could absolutely he's going to force Gucci to pick between his reputation and staining his entire career legacy, right? Now, we're hearing rumors that he's not going to cooperate. I really don't see Gucci being on the stand. I don't see Gucci being on the stand. I see the Karen being on the stand. I see the other guy being on the stand, not Gucci. So we're going to see. We are going to see.
Pooh.
You have to understand, we've been.
Let me tell you the difference between a lawyer and a non-lawyer. Non-lawyers think the truth is what they know. Hey, I know this. It's the truth. I could see it. You know what lawyers think the truth is? It's what you could prove in a court of law. When a Fed writes an affidavit saying witnesses told him this, this, and this, and so the defendant is guilty of a crime, that does not make the defendant guilty of a crime. When those witnesses take the stand and give sworn testimony under oath with the defendant in the box and 12 jurors on the side, now you have evidence, you have sworn testimony. We are far from that. Look, I'm not saying this case is getting beat, this case is getting won, this case is this case is that. What I'm saying is you have to look at what the government is telling you and look at what the government is showing you. And then you have to start playing the game. That's all.
Yeah, I see a lot of people jump on the side of Pooh Shiesty now. And I think it's reasonable. The case kind of looks a little weak. It looks like it's a hearsay case. Now, granted, if 10 people say the same thing about you, you'll still get convicted. I'm holding out hope that Gucci doesn't even get involved in this. He'll be able to say later on, like, yo, I never made a statement to the cops. I didn't put it to paper. I was just talking shit. They took my statements and they tried to, like, convict this guy with it.
So the idea that there's a video of Pooh Shiesty holding a gun and pointing it at Gucci Mane and saying, sign this contract, has been proven to be demonstrably false. That is not on video. If it was, he would have been cooked a long time ago. But we'll see what happens as the case and the witnesses. Let me tell you the difference between.
Okay, there you go. You think Pooh's doing 30 years? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'd be very shocked if Pooh does more than 5. Why are they saying that Jeezy speaks out? No, he didn't.
This is Butterfly. Everywhere I go. Yellow. Tell me it's my mama. I know it is. Telling me, baby, go, Jay. So look, man, I ain't gonna take too much of y'all time. I'm out here, get my mind right. I just wanted to drop a line to you guys. I'm quite sure there's somebody in some hospital bed right now with all the money in the world. Peace.
Okay, he's not really addressing shit.
25 their way. Stay right here because the attention of see those royalties until the label has.
Niggas got like documentaries about this shit already?
Man, it's a million YouTube channels, but y'all right here with me. It's Monday, about to go get back to the homeless. Everybody's talking about it. New situations coming out every day, new details coming out every day about it. Since we last did this, they had a hearing in Memphis at his dad, Pooh Shiesty's dad, had a hearing, and federal agents was asked, is there any hard evidence? And they were like, nah, there's no weapons. We couldn't really find anything to, but the judge was like, it's enough to keep this stuff going, but it's no hard. That's it when Pooh Shiesty was arrested, when Big 30's car was searched. Now my inside man, I do have I am in Dallas, and with somebody at that house that night when Pooh Shiesty's house was searched, and I'm being told the feds were really, really confident they were going to find something that night. It's like they were betting on it. They knew they had Pooh Shiesty. They knew it. That night they were going in during the raid to search his house. He's on house arrest, so he can't even be around that. That would have closed the coffin. Nails in the coffin. Closed case. Guaranteed extra 5-10 years. They went in there. They didn't find anything. And what I'm being told, the feds were upset. They thought they had him. They thought something was going to be found. Nothing was found that night when they arrested him. So that's really what I'm being told. And this is from a source that is, I don't really speak on a lot of what my sources say, but this is from somebody who...
Yeah, a lot of people have sources. By the way, I seen y'all tell me to react to this. Okay. So 21 Savage, it's a really divisive time for Atlanta, but also Gucci's really a pillar and a hero for so many people. But a lot of people are saying, damn, it is what it is. Like, if we're reading that you pointed people out, that's telling. Well, 21 Savage today was on Instagram, and this is what happened.
What y'all thought? It's too many people depending on his leadership skills out here for him to be gone. Come on, go reclaim your spot. I done gave us a second chance. I'm talking about a whole second chance, and you control all 3 lanes. You can do whatever you want to do. Put your foot on their neck. You understand me? Take those shoestrings out of their lips up. These people not ready
All right.
All right, home, Gresham, pull up. Listen to your mama. But to the females that had to take over, you bitches better get ready. Y'all counted us out. Come on now. While we was counted down, whoever was paid. I'm talking about whoever was paid when you went to the bed. Don't make your bed. You heard me? Cause the biggest is back. Come on now, son. You walk and walk. And you talk that gangster shit, man. And you tell them people what I be telling you.
Okay.
Ain't no more outfits from Southland Mall. They set up made in line. Couple hoes jumped on my beat, majority weight on me. She just acting faithful till I get home. Trust me, home. I might do a demonstration on GP. I ain't shot on that like 4 years. I ain't sending it in 3. First go to your head. Ain't nobody slamming me. Around the corner where they snake hard.
Okay, anyway.
Race to the top, these niggas still can't get no bigger. Got rich and wild in jail, locked to the feds, I'm doing niggas. My watch got on the watch, my train got.
Now, a lot of people thought that, hey, he was being hypocritical. He was picking sides, and he went against Atlanta. I talked to Savage today. He was really confused by the whole thing. And his whole thing was, yo, I was on live, and I played like 50 songs. This happened to be one of the songs that got played. I play random songs. If the algorithm chooses the song, it doesn't have nothing to do with whatever's going on with Gucci, right?
I'm more trained than you niggas. Ain't no such thing as real niggas, but I'm damn sure ain't counterfeit. Big 10 M's in the bank, then when Fed got penitentiary. Ferrari, off a jail call, I'm real rich.
King Buck, I see you, my boy. Yeah, so I kind of explained to him, I'm like, yeah, you gotta understand why people are thinking that, right? You have now kind of like put yourself in a position where even when you're not trying to like make a statement, people think you are.
How you ain't making change? He ain't dead, but I got niggas in the fed smoking Lil Wayne. On the race to the top, these niggas.
So he commented on No Jumpers post, and we reposted that. But he said this. Give me a second. He said, I listened to over 50 songs live. The shit don't got nothing to do with that situation. So he was saying that, yo, I'm not trying to like mess with whatever y'all think about that. Give me 1 second. So I'm trying to find 21 Savage's live from today. I want to find from today. Give me a second. Trying to find the longer version of this, because he's saying that no, I did not intentionally trying to do some shit. You know, obviously, men line, women line. I would love to see the other few hours or whatever that was of this stream to see if he only played FDO, because that looked bad. Just hopping on, playing FDO, kind of like taking a subliminal shot, I would think,